Hello and welcome to Monday the 5th of February. How are you doing? It is actually like 4:30 now. I'm sorry that I'm getting to you really late. Today's been quite hectic. I had to get the blog post up by 4, which I've managed to do, so check it out. I'll leave the link for my blog in the description below. I got up this morning, I was going to do the floors, the counters, have a shower, come down here, get work done, get the blog post done. But I've also got another one that I can write for next Monday, which is really good. But then my grandmother told me that my goddaughter was coming over in the morning, which was fine. We had a great time. And then she actually isn't very well, bless her. She's got a bit of a, I'd say she's got a cold. So I wasn't sure if that was a cat calling me. She's got a cold, which isn't nice for her. So my cousin had to go to an appointment with my grandmother. With my grandmother. And my goddaughter stayed with me, which was fine. But I eventually got her to sleep. And then she's coughing a lot in her sleep. So I tried to prop her up so she wouldn't, just tried to prop her up to see if that would help. So I moved her slightly and she fully woke up. I don't think she actually was 100% asleep anyway, because she was waking up and going back to sleep as it was without me being near her. So she then woke up. I managed to then get the blog post done because I hadn't been able to do it in the morning. I hadn't got round to it before they had to go to their meeting. And I've just spent my time with her. It's been really, really good. I love looking after her. It's one of the things that gives my life great joy, looking after that little girl. And I've got the blog post done and my YouTube for last week is up, so that's good. I didn't have to worry about that. I need to start editing last week's, but I'm not going to start that till next week. I had quite a stressful weekend, which I'm not going to go into, but I just did. I found it very stressful. I wasn't coping very well. I'm still not coping very well. I am struggling somewhat at the precise moment, but that didn't stop me from getting my work done, and that's the point. You keep pushing. If you want something, you keep pushing through it, no matter how rubbish you feel. Aside from the fact that I've had some chocolate to make me feel better, but let's just ignore that. So that's been today. I don't think I'm going to speak to you again because I'm not going to do anything. I'm probably, at the moment, I'm just watching a Mark Ferris vlog and trying to make myself feel better about things. I'm getting water down me because I haven't had any all day. The place is in a complete mess. I need to go through it with me mum. That's all I've done today. How are you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a few minutes and you need charging. I need to get the other battery going. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Well, hello and welcome to Tuesday the 6th of February. How are you doing? I have done all the blog posts for this week. I've done all the blog posts for next week. So that's really good. I have stupidly, I've hurt my foot. I managed to fall out of the door there and twist my foot slightly bad, and it's now hurting, so I have to hook it up. In case you were wondering, oh, why is she sitting down? She always stands up. Yeah, that's the reason. But my goddaughter came over and I've spent the day with her. She's up with my grandmother and my cousin at the moment. But we made a den. Look at it. Not the best in the world, but I haven't made a den since I was 10, which rhymed unintentionally. So that was great fun. We played with Play-Doh. I put the Disney playlist on, Disney song playlist on for her when she's over. And we were listening to that. And suddenly the Lava song came on. I don't know if you guys know about this, but when she was really young, how old is she? She's 2 now. She's over 2 now. But I used to sing that to her when she was, it's got to be less than a year up. And we found it, and I was talking to her about it, saying, do you remember this from when you were younger? And all these questions, and she was like, yes, although she probably doesn't. And she made me play it for her 3 times in a row because she enjoyed it. I was like, that is amazing how she just, I don't know if she remembers it, don't get me wrong, I highly doubt she does. There's too much going on in that girl's brain to even understand what's going on. But yeah, that was just a really touching moment for me. I'm really happy I made this den for her. We just sat under it and did Play-Doh. And yeah, that's basically all I've done today. She came over about 1, so that knocked out my afternoon for a great reason. But I've done the I've done the jobs that I have to do other than editing last week's vlog. I haven't actually started doing that yet. I think I'm in trouble if I don't start doing that soon, but hey ho, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry about the unattractive lighting. I'm sitting by the computer because I'm going to do some work now. I don't know if I'm going to start editing or not. I probably won't because it's already 5 o'clock. But what? Do I need eggs? Oh shoot, can you get me some eggs, Mum? I'm doing a lot of cooking tomorrow night for Valentine's Day. I'm doing the majority of it tomorrow. And my mum's going shopping after work and I need to text her saying, could you pick me up eggs? Right, that's now done. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot. I did the pancakes on Sunday. They went not as planned, but I managed to make them like jammy Dodger ones. So the jam is in the middle, which tasted really good. It was so good. And I think they're actually the best ones I've ever made, other than the height, but I messed that up because I've kind of had to teach myself how to fold in like the baking and cooking technique of folding. I've taught that to myself, and everything works so much better now that I've mastered my own version of it, which is fantastic because it's something that I need and will need for most recipes. So yeah, that's fantastic. I am doing tomorrow night, which is Wednesday, I am doing some pizza, some stuffed peppers, and I would also like to make some cookies, which would be really great if I could. But I don't know if I'm having my goddaughter overnight, so that may put everything out the window. We don't know. We'll find out. And yeah, that's today. I don't think I'll speak to you again, so I will see you tomorrow. Well, hello and welcome to Wednesday the 7th of February. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Last night, as you well know, my cousin had to leave my goddaughter with me and my grandmother and my mum and my uncle, and we watched her overnight, and we had not the greatest of the nights. She, bless her, she fell asleep about 8:15, but I don't think she'd slept all day. The den's still up, if you can see. I haven't taken it down, I can't bear to. It's just so, it's not amazing. It makes me feel young and childish, even though that hasn't really changed. So she went to sleep about 8:15, and she slept for about an hour and a half. Bless her. Then I think she woke up from a, hang on, that's better. Bless her, I think she woke up from a nightmare. And of course she's calling for her mum and her mum's not there, and it's, you know, how do I explain it to her? She's only 2, you know, how do I explain to her that her mum's not here but she's safe? You know, I don't think she wouldn't feel safe with me, or my mum or my uncle or my grandmother, but, you know, how do I explain to a 2-year-old that everything's going to be okay when their mum's not there? You know, I wouldn't have accepted it at 2. My mum's the closest person to me, and I wouldn't accept it. I wouldn't accept it now unless my mum said, hang on, I wouldn't accept it now unless my mum said it to me. So she was up for a while after that. Then we finally went off, and I was a bit like, I wanted her to wake up at a certain time because then she would have had 8 hours sleep, which I think is really good. But she actually ended up oversleeping, and she's got a bit of a cough. So so she actually slept over that because she had a poor cough. I wanted her to sleep for as long as she could. They've now picked her up and gone off, which is really good because it means she's with her parents. It means that they're all together. She's happier. Not that she isn't happy. One second. Sorry, they were eating something they shouldn't have been in the garden, so I had to go all the way down there. Right. Anyway, I was saying, so she's gone off with her parents now. So I don't know what to do because I'm exhausted. Not exhausted, I'm tired. That's not anyone's fault, I'm just tired. But it's not that I don't want to do work, it's that I don't want to do work. So, oh, that looks an interesting trailer. What's it for? Cloverfield Paradox. Interesting. So, I'm waiting on a call from my mum at the moment, but she's of course at work, so, you know. So whether she'll be able to call me back soon is by the by. So, what I think I'm going to do is do some backlog work of putting products into my blog posts. And once that's done, I'm just going to chill because I'm cooking tonight. Cooking 2 meals for Valentine's Day. And I was going to do the cookies, the parcel cookies tonight, but I just don't think it's going to work. So I am going to make the stuffed peppers and the pizza. Make them for 2 pictures, 2 blog posts. The pancakes are done, I already told you about that. And then that just leaves the cookies for the weekend. And I'm also hoping to make churros at the weekend. So things are going well. This may be all I speak to you today. So if it is, I will see you tomorrow. If it's not, I'll speak to you in a minute. Right, yeah, not going to lie to you. My foot's really hurting, but we power through. So this is the first bit of cooking I'm going to be doing down here. I don't have an oven currently, but I'm making gluten-free pizza tonight, and I'm making the sauce as well. So I'll make the sauce down here, take that up, because that takes, for the recipe I'm using, it takes half an hour to, it says half an hour to infuse. I don't really think it gives much of a monkeys, but that's what it says. So I'm going to follow it. So I thought we could make the sauce together. So let's get going. Where's my scales? Scales! Bowl. So let's measure the passata. It is the passata, isn't it? Yeah. So I changed the recipe round, and I changed the recipe from tomatoes to some form of tomato. I changed the recipe from some form of tomato to then tin tomato. My hair looks crazy. A bit like the person who has it. So then I couldn't fine chop tomatoes in the sense of that I'd then have to blend it, or you'd just get random bits of tomato in the sauce, which I don't know. I wouldn't like that, I don't think. So I've decided to go with tomato passata, Tesco's own brand. So I need 200 grams of this. How I wanted to film it isn't going to work. So I'll just do it up here so you see me, but I am doing it, alright? I'm not just leaving it. Oh, please don't tell me you've run out of battery. Okay, right, scissors. So how's your week going? We had a bit of a hoo-ha tonight, this afternoon. We had the, we've got a, I don't know if if it's in every house, but we've got a sewer, like, chain, we got a sewer bit running under the house, as I imagine all houses do. But this one decided to explode, so we had to call my uncle over, who is a... Does it give me an indication on how to open this? No. Who is a builder, and he sent one of his workman people over to help fix it, which is great, and it's now fixed. Oh no, that's way too much. I'm actually going to leave it at that, I think, because that's really nice and tomatoey, because it's 50 above what it should be, but look how much tomato you get in there. So I think I'm going to go for that. So, need to make me notes. So I don't need you. I need 250 of tomato passata. It's basically like spelling pasta, but with an extra A and S, I reckon. That, or I'm completely wrong. But we're not gonna look into that, because it's more than likely true. Measuring spoons. So I don't need the scales anymore. So let's put you over here. I need you and you. Don't need you lot. Honestly, this place is still such a mess, and it really upsets me. I'm not going to lie to you, because I don't like living... I mean, if you saw the state of the bedroom before I started editing it and compare it to this place, I don't think there's that much of a difference, and that upsets me, because it was absolute pigging chaos up there, and I don't think it's any better down here. Plop that. Passata, tomato passata. Oh! It's landed on a washing glove, and it makes it look like that washing glove has been bleeding. Right, next step. 2 tablespoons of honey. That I have. Here. 4 tablespoons. A quick tip for you guys. If you want to do honey, or anything like golden syrup, or anything like that, a good thing for it, sort of, so it doesn't stick to the spoon, is to boil some water, and to boil some water, stick the spoon in it, just make sure you're using the right spoon, yep, and 2 tablespoons, yep, and then you can, it will just run off the spoon a lot easier. This does not look pretty. Right, that's 1. There we go. That's 2. Shoot, do I need a tablespoon for the other thing? Oh no! That means I need to clean it. Oh well, needed to clean it anyway. It's just whether I could get away with leaving it for tonight. Right, next thing. Dried basil. I have the the herby version. And it decides to focus. You going to? No, it's not going to. So I have the herby version. So I need to open that. Does it just pop off? No, it can't just pop off. That did not sound good. Okay, basil. Basil! Right, how much do I need? 1/4 teaspoon. Where's my teaspoons? 1/4 teaspoon, that seems very small. Because it is, Vickiie! Yeah, 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 yeah. I've got that song stuck in my head. If you know that song, well done. I'm very impressed. There we go. Right. 1/4 teaspoon. Going in. There we go. Basil. Done. Onion powder. Now, I couldn't get onion powder, so I found the closest thing to it, which was onion granules. But I don't think there's much difference, to be honest with you. So, yes. I look very attractive on this camera. Oh, that that is oniony. Woo! 3/4 teaspoons. So I need 3 of those. Where's my spoon? There. 3/4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. It's quite hard actually because I would ordinarily put garlic in this, but I'm like a lot of the time you don't have to. You have a lot of the time, a lot of recipes when you're cooking call for garlic, but my mum can't stand garlic, even the tiniest bit of it. Right, is this where I'm putting the mixed spice in? Oh shoot. Yeah, because it's got oregano. Rosemary, right, okay. So this has got the oregano in it. I'm just going to put mixed spice in. Never mind it. Oh no. Right. This is so light. Oh my god, the smell of this is divine. I am not joking right now. 1/4 teaspoon. Oh, I love it. It's just such a shame that it calls for such tiny amounts of it. I put 2 in, but if it went wrong, I'd never forgive myself. So now I need 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary. Rosemary? Can I lay by your side? Oh, love it. 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary. Okay. Next to make sure I didn't get chili leaves. Oh no! Right, okay then. So it says 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1/8 teaspoon of dried pepper flakes, of which I have neither. No, I've got the cayenne. I don't have the dried flakes because I was an idiot and put it back thinking, oh no, it's alright. I'll go back to it at the end. There's no hurry on the shop. So, is it still on the shopping list? Let me check 1 second. Because if I knocked it off, it means I bought it. I think I did buy it. Right, where are you then? You were shopping. You moved in there. And no, I've lost me peppers. Found it. Found it. Right, okay, so it's an 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I don't have an 1/8, so I'm going to put the 1/4. Because what's life without a bit of whimsy? Or do I pinch it? I might pinch it because I don't have an 1/8. So let's pinch. Pinch it. Pinch of cayenne pepper and a pinch. Oh my goodness, that actually smells lovely. Oh wow. Tell you what this reminds me of. I don't know why, because I don't actually eat chilli very much. But it reminds me of my holiday when I went to Disney with my aunt and her family and my mum. Randomest thing. You know, I didn't have anything, but it's because we stayed in the... Right, so I switched you with 1/4 teaspoon, which you're not going to write. 1/4 teaspoon of mixed spice, mixed herbs even, and you both equal to, no, 1 pinch, Now, okay, I need to run to the house and get some pepper because I stupidly forgot to bring it down here. Salt. I'm using the low sodium salt, mainly for convenience, because that's what I've got, and it's what my mum basically instilled in me to have for the majority. Oh no, I put it into wash. The majority of my life. That's not a pinch. That's a pinch. Oh yeah, so I was saying about the sewer, which has now been fixed, but the dogs ran in it, so I guess you had to clean it up. You had to clean them up, which was great. Right, pinchazoid. There we go. Okay, that may be a bit more than a pinch. There we go, that's that covered. But I need the skin, so that's got to go in the other thing. I'm wondering whether to stick some olive oil in it, but I don't know if you're putting olive oil in the dough, so I'll probably leave it. I'll be back in 1 minute. Right, I'm back. Stole the pepper from my grandmother, don't tell her. So pinch. I think I picked the wrong pepper to mess with. Oh, please don't explode on me. There we go. Please fit. No, of course you don't. Alright. I love pepper. I love the smell of it. It's too much. Never mind, it's done. It's roughly a pinch. Probably about 2. Never mind. Right, done all that. Next thing. In a small bowl, combine everything. Mix together, breaking up any clumps of cheese. You're supposed to put cheese in this recipe, but I'm not going to because I can't be bothered. And it's being topped with cheese. Why would I want to put cheese in the sauce if I'm then topping it with cheese? Oh my goodness. Oh, that actually smells like pizza sauce. I'm so happy right now. Okay, mix everything together, breaking up any clumps of cheese, even though I'm not including cheese. What? Okay. Sauce should sit for 30 minutes to blend flavours, spread over pizza dough and prepare pizza as desired. Right. So just give it one more quick mix for good luck. Okay, that's done. I don't think I'm going to make the dough with you because I've got to do that down the house and my family won't like me filming. So I am really glad that I did that with you because it's a very rare occasion that I can actually cook with you guys on camera, even though you couldn't see any of it because I was a div and set the camera up wrong. But hey ho, I think that's just my new saying in life, hey ho, because it just is. Okay, so if I put them together, hopefully I won't forget to take them with me. So, what have I got to do for the pizza? Oh, I need to set timer for ½ hour. That'll probably tie in with the time my mum comes home, so that'll be good timing. 30 minutes. Okay, so it says my timer is not done. Shush. It says ingredients: 350 grams of plain flour, 2 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to change that into 1/3. 3 teaspoons, because why not? 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, and then toppings. Toppings I've got in there. If they're out, the toppings at the moment, the topping all I'm doing is cheddar cheese. So, as I said before, actually. Oh no, the cheese isn't down here, but I've got the butter brand of it, so it's fine. I use this stuff, lactose-free, because I find, personally, I don't think I'm allergic to dairy. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, per se, because I've not been clinically defined. But I also haven't actually been clinically defined as gluten-free either. I found that out of my own. I had my own tests done through these herbal shops, which people will go, "You idiot, you spent money on something that isn't real, it's all in your head." And a lot of people who I actually know and care about quite deeply say that it's not real. And I know for a fact that people have tested that theory. So that's actually a sore subject, I shouldn't bring that up. Anyway, So I actually found out I was gluten-free when I was 13. That's when my journey started with this. So I've been living, I'm now 21, that's 8 years. That's 8 years. I feel so old. Oh my good, I'm 21 and the time isn't slowing down. So anyway, I became gluten-free through my own theories and with my parents' help, and I have, touch wood, not had a problem since. What I found I was having problems with was I was getting continuous headaches. I had headaches every day for practically 2 years, and I had nausea and stomach cramps and stomach problems for practically 2 years as well. They thought I had IBS, they tested all kinds of theories on me, but the main gist of it was because I had a lot of stress at the time as well, so they were trying to fix that together. But I actually tried gluten-free, I can't remember how that happened, but I will write a blog about it at some point because my mother has the better memory. And I became gluten-free at 13, and I used to question quite a lot whether it was real or if it was in my head, you know, as to whether I was actually gluten-free, because it's not clinically defined. I've done it of my own accord. So same with the lactose-free stuff. I'm not actually dairy intolerant. I just find that if I was having a lot of hot chocolates and banana milkshakes when I went out at the weekend. Sorry, my foot's really hurting. When I went out at the weekend and things, and the following day I would just have such an upset tummy. It would hurt and it would be uncomfortable, and it wasn't necessary. So I found it easier to just go, actually no, I'm going to leave it. I'm allowed the odd one or two, don't get me wrong, I'm not cut myself off from dairy completely, but I mainly live off of dairy-free. When I'm at home, I live off of dairy-free. I don't go to Costa and order a soya drink because there's no point. I'm not completely allergic. Anyway, back to the gluten-free. I actually went away a couple of years ago on a holiday weekend type thing, and the place that made the food had they put quite a bit of flour in the gravy, or they put flour in things that they didn't basically know what gluten-free was, I don't think, or understand it much. So I ate the food because I'm a hungry gal and there's nothing that's going to stop me from eating. I'm really sorry about that. And I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning feeling like absolute rubbish. I had a splitting headache. I had really bad nausea to the point where I actually thought I am going to be ill. And that showed me and gave me a lot of peace of mind that the fact that that does happen, not because it means that, oh no, if I do this I'm going to be ill, you know, that doesn't matter, but the thing behind it is that it gives me peace of mind knowing that it's not in my head. It is real. My body does genuinely have a reaction to this, which caused unimaginable pain and it really hurt and was awful. I can still remember it. It was awful, completely awful, and it was an experience. I'm not glad that no, that's a lie. I'm really glad that it happened, because I now know in my heart that no matter how many people try to tell me, or people who even question whether it's real or not, I know it is. And that is something that no one can tell me is false, you know. So that's just the way I view it. So anyway, back to the recipe. I need 350 grams of plain gluten-free flour, which is in my bag, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which is in my bag, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, and toppings. So I'm using the lactose-free cheese, which is divine. It is lovely. It tastes exactly like normal cheese. It is great, because I've tried non-lactose-free cheese alternative, and to me personally, I didn't like it at all. So yeah, what do I have to do for that? I have to heat it to 180 degrees fan, mix the dry ingredients together in a small bowl, add the oil and 170 millilitres of water, then stir until it forms a ball. I can't read. I don't know why I bothered to go to school. If stiff, add more water. it should be soft, not sticky. Knead on a floured surface for 3 to 5 minutes. Roll into 2 balls, then flatten out, adding toppings and bake each on a baking sheet for 15 minutes. I mean, I don't think even I can mess that up, and there are plenty of occasions where I have messed things up, so okay, I can't wait to do that. I'll let you know tomorrow how it goes. I'll be actually really interested to see how it works with the baking powder, because baking powder has been the bane of my life when I've done baking. I just tend to use, as you would know if you follow my blog, I just tend to use self-raising flour for most things, because baking powder, like I made a cinnamon loaf with baking powder in it, and I've got the picture somewhere, and it is, so if this is the whole loaf, kind of went like a valley in the middle, so it didn't actually bloom or blossom or rise or however you want to put it. It didn't do any of that. But I then found using the same, if you have a recipe, so say for example, my loaf, my cinnamon loaf, the original recipe called for 140 grams of plain flour, 140 grams of self-raising flour, then a teaspoon of baking powder. If you have recipes like that, and it's just 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon or whatever of baking powder, I personally have found it easier to just use the self-raising flour, and touch wood, it hasn't proved me any problems thus far. Eventually it will, because that's just the way things go, but I really think it'll be a long time until that day, because I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be great. I don't even know where I was. The self-raising flour. Yeah, so if you have a recipe where it's self-raising flour and it's 1 or half a teaspoon of baking powder, just use self-raising flour. Don't worry about the baking powder, because the whole point of self-raising flour is it self-rises. So you don't actually need in my opinion, possibly not going to work for all recipes, I'm not going to lie to you, but for the work I've done and the research I've done over the past 2 years of having my blog and doing my cooking and baking and drink making and everything, it has, touch wood, not let me down. So I just thought I'd let you in on that, because that's a trade secret from me own. And yeah, I will let you know how the pizza goes. You will see it on my Instagram in the description below if you want to follow me. And yes, I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. This is the last I'm going to be speaking to you today, and it is 5:10, so I should really be chilling right now until I've got to go to work. Oh, I've got to tell you. Now, the X-Files would have been out for a week by this time, but I'm going to watch the first X-Files of the new series tonight. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to have pizza. I'm going to have X-Files night. Oh, it's just going to be so much fun. Okay, right, now I'm going to leave you. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, hello and welcome to Thursday the 8th of February. How are you doing? I have just finished about 5 minutes ago doing the weekly vlog for last week, the first edit. Tomorrow I'm going to do the second edit, the watch through, and hopefully upload. It would help if I put myself in camera for you to see me. Do the upload. No, tomorrow I'm hoping to do the watch. No, I did the first edit today. I'm going to do the second edit, the watch through, and the encoding tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get it uploaded as well, but you never know if you're actually going to be able to. But you know, if the encoding needs to be done on Monday, the encoding needs to be done on Monday. Can't rush. I'd like to say art, but I really don't think this is. So that's all done. Oh, for today anyway. I am going to, oh, the pizzas, I forgot to tell you. They went down really, really well. I can't tell you how tasty and yummy and delicious it was. It was gorgeous. The only thing I will say is that it's currently got too much spice in it. So what I'm going to do is put, if you like spicy food, feel free to put the cayenne and the dried peppers, the chili sauce, no, not chili sauce, chili powder in it. Feel free to do that if you like spicy food. If you don't put it in, because if you're not used to it or you don't like it, it's really not worth it. And I think it would taste just as amazing if it didn't have it in it. So that being said, tonight I am going to be making some stuffed baked honey and mustard chicken with rice and heart veggie peppers. So let me say that again in English. I'm going to be making stuffed peppers which will have baked honey mustard chicken, rice and heart veggies in it. I'm really excited to make this. So I'm going to be making that tonight for me and Mum for dinner. And I have rewritten the the method. Well, I call it a method. The method of doing it, because it didn't make sense what I'd done, how I had written it. I just put them under each other rather than actually thinking about it and going, no, you actually need to do this first. And so I spent the morning doing that, and I've done it, and it is all written here for me. So I'm going to get started on that any second now and get that going, because I have no idea how long it's going to take to cook. So we're just going to have fun with it. So let's have a look. What can I do now? I can do the veggies now and get the chicken ready. So I need to get all my shapes out. So I need to get all my equipment together. Oh, my hair looks amazing today. Need to get all my equipment together. And then I need to start doing the peppers, the orange and yellow peppers, the carrots and parsnips. I need to get them going. And I need to, because I'm going to butterfly the chicken, so I'm going to cut it in half, open it up and smash it a bit, so that I can create, hopefully I can create heart shapes from the chicken. If I can't, I'll just shred it, or I will just put it in, or just chop it up. You know, worst comes to worst. Really doesn't matter, does it? It's the end picture I need. I'm not doing the in-between pictures until I've got better equipment for that and better space and everything. Yeah, I can really get on with most of this, which is good, because I'm just going to stick it in the oven. I think that is really my indicator on that I should be getting started. So, have I got my blue pan here? Yeah, it's over there. I'll use that for the chicken. I'll take down the rice, although I should have other rice. So first things first, I've really got to get this stuff together and get on with it, really. So that is it for today. I hope you're having a good time watching this video, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, hello and welcome to Friday the 9th of February. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. I have again somehow managed to get the weekly vlog for last week in coding now, and it may be uploaded by tonight. I'm just a whiz at this now. Never mind that. I'm just with it. Woohoo! Isn't that right, Magic? Isn't that right? Nope. Yeah, we had a playing session about an hour ago, so she's tired now. Right, so that's in uploading. Well, no, actually it's encoding at the moment, then it will be uploading. So I think, because I'm covered for all of next week, I'm going to take a break. And I'm finally going to watch the Big Fat Quiz of Everything, the latest one that's gone up. Because sadly I missed the deadline for the last one, the Big Fat Quiz of the Year 2017. I missed watching that. So, you know, eventually it'll be uploaded to YouTube so I can watch it then. But hey ho, I've got the other one to look forward to. So I'm going to enjoy that. And that's basically all that's happened this morning. My mum goes in for her operation. Excuse me, my mum goes into her operation, for her operation next Thursday. And I'm not going to lie, I'm really, really worried about it because I'm terrified of her not coming out. I'm going to cry. No, I'm not. I'm not going to cry. But the other thing is, hang on, I've been thinking about this for the last night, I think. I am terrified that she's going to not come out of the hospital, as I imagine most children's fears are for their parents if they go into a hospital for an operation. Oh, I haven't told you what operation she's having. She's having a hip operation. And I was thinking about this last night. My mum has had a previous operation because she unfortunately suffered from quite, I was going to say quite bad, but it's bad for everyone. She suffered from gallstones and they needed to be taken out of her, so she had an operation then. Thing was, when she had that operation, I think it was about 15. So I didn't have any inclination, any thought that she wouldn't come out, you know. And then I later found in the safe, because we were going through things, that she wrote a card for me for if she passed on the table, and if she passed in hospital and she never came out and all that. And it was only then that I realised it could go wrong. And I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do if she didn't come out of hospital? you know, I'd be completely on my own. No, I'm not completely on my own, that's a lie. I've got my nan, I've got my uncle, got my dad, got my dog, but the thing is I need to pay for my dog's insurance. I don't work. This is my work, although it's not earning anything yet. This is my work, my blogging's my work, and this is my work. I have been, as it's been creeping closer and closer to it, I've been going, what the heck am I going to do? The obvious thing, of course, is that I would be getting my mother's inheritance. So I would do something with that money, but I would also need to, that doesn't happen overnight, so I would need to get a job, need to look after Magic, make sure she's okay, but the other side to that is that I need to be at home to look after or help with my grandmother and my uncle, who are both not 100% well, and that is a hard thing to grasp in my head, that I won't be able to be here to help the people who need it. But anyway, I was thinking about it, and all of these things were just bombarding my head, you know, and I have been terrified and I'm scared. But I was thinking last night, and I will finally get onto this point as I have been delaying it for the past 30 seconds, that if my mother was going to pass away on a table for an operation, it would have been the gallstones, because she was having keyhole surgery in her chest. So many more things could go wrong there than they can in a hip operation. And she was saying to me, because she's not worried, she's not scared, she's not anything, it's me who's doing that. She was saying to me how she's talked to about her co-workers know people who have had it done, my family members know people who have had it done, a friend of my mum's colleagues' mother has had it done, and she's the youngest person to ever have it done. It is such a regular operation. They do it day in, day out, no problems, you know, that if something were to happen, or would have happened, it would have been in the last operation, it won't be this one. So I just need to keep reminding myself of that, and I'm doing what I said in my New Year's resolutions, which was, if I start thinking about something I don't want to think about, something that's upsetting, something that's scary, just going to say stop and move on to something else. Most of the time it's moving on to my work. So what next I've got to bake, what next I've got to write about, you know, all these things. But I need to do that, because otherwise I will drive myself insane, and I will be sitting there on the day terrified, because of course she's going to be out of it, she's going to have anaesthetic, so she's not going to be able to contact me and say, look, everything's fine, there's nothing to worry about, I'm okay. So yeah, I'm just going to keep going, you know, do you know what, stop Vickiie, get on with your work, because while your mum is here, you know, because she's going to be off work for 2 months, while she's off, you're going to need to look after her, so you need to get your work in order, you need to get the weekly vlogs, you know, they'll just happen anyway, so there's not much I can do about doing those things, but my blogs need to be up. Thankfully I've got about 5 cooking ones that I can upload anyway. I need to get all this stuff sorted, so the main gist of next week, which is the week she'll be going in, is get as much as I can pre-scheduled, pre-done, and actually have fun with my mum before she goes in, because of course she's going to be in for 3 nights and I'm not going to see her. So, because I'm not going to ask my grandmother to take me, because that's not fair, she's got other commitments and I don't want to be a burden. So, and I call my mum 3-4 times a day anyway if she were at work, you know, during the lunch hour, during the day. Thankfully I'm lucky enough that I can do that. 1 second. Sorry. I call her 3-4 times a day anyway. So it won't be any different than if she were at work. It would just be she's sleeping over at work. My biggest problem will be that little monkey there and her, I guess, sister, Poppy, they get up during the night, and I'm dreading that, because I'm just like, I like my sleep. I don't like getting up or anything. So, you know, that makes things different. But thankfully she's away over a weekend. So she's in for 3 nights. She's going in for the Thursday's operation day. So that'll be 1 night. I was working this out last night, actually. Thursday will be 1 night. Friday will be 2nd night. Saturday will be 3rd night. So the only thing that holds you up being let out of hospital with a hip operation, as far as I understand it, I haven't read any information because I've been scared to. The information that I've read is that, or heard, is that they won't let my mum out of hospital if she can't walk upstairs, because that is a necessity. She needs them to get into the pig in house anyway. So you know, she could be staying in for an extra 2 nights, I don't know. But I said to her, take your time, do what you need to do. I'm here, I'm safe. No one's going to hurt me. I'm not in any trouble whatsoever being here. I'm with family. I'll be seeing my dad. I'll go and see you on the Saturday, hopefully, because he'll take me. And if he doesn't, I'll be blimmin' angry with him, the old man. So, yeah. Oh, I feel really good talking about this. I have been so scared for the past couple of weeks. And she knows, you know, she knows I'm scared. But it feels good to talk about it to someone, even if no one watches this. I am glad that I'm talking about it, because it's not a good thing to think about. Anyway, stop. Right. Okay. So this week I've got all my blogs set up for next week, which is really good. I need to write the stuff for next week, but I'm going to take today off. I'll do that on Monday. So I'm always ahead, because the following Monday is going to be a style, and I can't pre-write that because I need to know what I'm wearing on the Saturday, and it's all the big things. The Wednesdays are sorted. Friday will probably be a film review, so I'm going to be doing them. Yeah, so they're my jobs for the end of this week and next week, but I'm taking this afternoon off, chilling out, and trying desperately not to think about next week, because, as I've said a billion times, I am absolutely terrified. So, yeah. I think that's most things. I think that's everything. Anyway, I will speak to you later, but if anyone is watching this, thank you for letting me drivel on about something that is worrying me, because it's not for me. I am used to being there for other people. I've been there for other people all my life, and I plan to continue that. But I then have the complex thing of, I don't feel that it's anyone else's responsibility to be there for me, other than my parents and my grandmother, because I live with her, and my uncle, because I live with him. But other than that, I feel like I'm a burden if I were to talk about these worries of mine to other people, and I wouldn't want to be a burden. So if you are watching this, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me. And yeah, so I will see you soon. Well, that's it for today. I have sorted out everything for tomorrow, and I have sorted out, because it's Shrove Tuesday next week, so I'm making crepes as well, so I've worked out the recipes for that. So I've done that, and I've sorted out the stuff for Saturday, so I'm set up. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. I hope you have had a great week. If you enjoy my content, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next week. Bye!